just kind of talked about some of the trends. Obviously, you've had to deal with a lot of injuries, but it seems like maybe some of the issues go beyond that. Do you think that's fair? And if not, do you think that having guys like Walker and Shaq that can fixes some of these defensive issues?
Well, I certainly hope so. That's what I would say straight away. When you lose two high caliber players, two players that have played at international level, you're going to see the difference. There's no two ways about it. However, I think we should also expect that the standards of the guys coming in are going to be good enough to give us an opportunity, especially at home, to win games. There's a combination of I think difficulties that the group's having right now, and it certainly is underpinned by players missing. One is that the rate at which we're conceding goals is a problem, and to your point, I think a couple of those individuals out of the team right now might be a help. And the second one is, I think, a standard, a quality, an expectation in possession. And it's far too many times that the ball's turned over unnecessarily so. There are too many situations that look as though they're going to be encouraging and don't happen. And that in itself, I do believe, is creating a lack of confidence in the group. And certainly not enough opportunities to build pressure and feel as though, you know, there might be a turning point in the game here. The simple fact was that Philadelphia took off a defender and put on a midfield player. They played with a little bit more energy and a system that they have used for a long time, a goal down. And that energy created some serious problems in our group in managing the ball. There were too many challenges missed. There was panic that was set in from an extra bit of energy. We've got to be better than that. That is for sure.
Gary, last season there seemed to be an issue where you couldn't score a whole lot of goals, but you also didn't concede a whole lot of goals. And then what we've seen this season is you are able to score, but obviously you are conceding as well. So do you think it's a balance issue, or do you think this is more of an individual error to the back?
I think it's probably a combination of both. We've had no continuity back there, which I think if you look at in the past, we've probably only used 5 different individuals in a back four. Centre backs, you know, Lucas, Jack and Walker rotating as individuals. And for the most part, I think Shaq played nearly every game last year. Daniel Lovett's very close to that as well. Joe in goal. And by the way, you know, I've not putting any blame in Elliott's lap here. I'm not sure there's anything he could do about the goals. But I think that lack of continuity is playing into relationships, individual errors, a lack of belief and confidence in what's going on around them. And there really is no solid foundation in that back line. You can tell by the bodies that are coming in and out. Jack, no, this weekend. Lucas, back 3. I do think that what we're seeing out of one or two of the guys in this shape was encouraging last week, enough to continue with this shape this week. And I've got to be honest, I thought in the first half, they shocked me a little bit playing with a back 3 themselves. But I thought we were the better team. Not loads of chances, always going to be tight, especially when teams match up. But I thought we edged it and deserved to go in 1-0 up.
Coach, Julian was subbed off in the 72nd minute. Went down multiple times and had to get help from the physio team. Any update on the possible injury from him?
His hamstring tightened up, and I think in the end he felt as though he was maybe putting himself in a position of risk. There was going to be a slightly different change that we affected a little bit further down the line. But yeah, I don't at this moment suspect anything too serious, but it'll be reassessed tomorrow.
Yeah, Coach, you talked a little bit about confidence and you talked a little about the injuries and who's out and who's in. What is your message to the team going forward to try to build that
Well, I do think when you get to this point, there's a couple of things you can do. We've tried one, which is changing the shape of the group. I think we're at a point where we certainly need to consider what it looks like in the open market to get a body or two in, and how we go about that. Could be quite difficult, of course, because the window closes soon. But I'll certainly be talking to Mike about that next week. I think we need some way, somehow, to try and, inject a little bit of energy, a little bit of sparkle into the group somehow. And if we're changing, if we're working hard midweek, and we're still seeing the same product at the weekend, then there are only few options that we have, and one of those is to try and find some replacements and some bodies that might be able to come in and give us that little bit of lift.
And in that first period, the team looked good. They obviously took the lead. How can the team do that going forward to actually hold that?
Well, I think I've mentioned the word consistency a number of times in these press conferences after the game, and it seems to be one of the key areas that we're lacking right now. That can be with guys that are not used to playing regularly, which we have in the group. It can certainly be through a lack of bodies that are going to be able to withstand some of the pressure and the situations that they're put under. Walker, Shaq, for example, have seen these moments before, have dealt with these moments before. And quite frankly, you find it difficult, I think any team does, to lose high calibre players and be able to replace them in a simple fashion and move forward. In terms of building confidence, I think I've mentioned what does that look like. I don't know what the options are with bodies around the league. I don't know how easy or difficult it is to try and make that work, but it's certainly something we need to consider. The only other way is to keep working hard, to find a way through to a result. Today, a 1-0 win would have been everything that we needed, especially in that second half performance. But when you concede 2 and it doesn't go your way, you've got to start from scratch again.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Sam Surridge will be joining us shortly. Welcome back, everybody. We are now joined by forward Sam Surridge, who scored a nice goal for Nashville SC. Sam, your thoughts on how the goal came to?
My goal or theirs? Obviously Shaf has been on fire recently, so I knew he was going to kind of take his man on and put it back post. I think that's kind of his specialty. So yeah, I kind of knew it was happening, and yeah, I got my head on it. It was one just before that Hanny put in back post, and I didn't quite get there early enough. But yeah, it wasn't to be that time. But yeah, it was a good run and good ball. So
We're going to open the floor for questions.
Yeah, Sam, obviously, I'm sure you're happy to get on the score sheet.
Yep.
For the first time in MLS. What were kind of some of the feelings with balancing that with also kind of conceding another lead at home?
yeah, I think it's hard at the moment because we've conceded, I think, 3 set pieces in 3 games now. So I think if you look at it, we've conceded last week a set piece where we drew the game. This week we've lost a point from it. So yeah, it's definitely something we probably need to keep working on, and we have been working on it, but we've just got to keep persevering, and yeah, eventually I think we'll tidy that up. It's just unfortunate this early in the season, but those things, yeah, they can't happen, so I think we've just got to keep working on them, and then yeah, it will put us in good stead. So.
Sam, what's the feelings like in the locker room right now? Because I can't imagine being too positive, of course. And what are you as the players doing to maybe change that going forward?
Well, the good thing is I think everyone's talking, everyone's no one's dropping their heads, everyone's saying their part. I think no one's happy that we haven't won today and got the point last week and got lost against LA. But if you look at it before LA, everyone was positive, and it's 3 games and suddenly everyone's really low. So it's like, it's definitely a roller coaster, but I think you just got to look at it. If we didn't concede the set piece today and last week, then maybe we'd be in a better position. But it's obviously lads are not happy, but we just got to, as professionals, kind of work on that for the next couple of weeks and then see where we're at against Miami.
Any additional questions? Nico?
Sam, obviously the loss tonight, you being a taller player, more physical player in the box and the crosses in and out of the box, do you carry a little extra bit of weight on your shoulders to, kind of carry the team on that type of emphasis in the game?
Well, obviously goals win games, and I think as a striker you need to be scoring. I think that's ultimately what you're judged on. So whether it's right or not, I think that's what it is. I wouldn't say the team would rely on me in that way, no, but I think they rely on me and Hanny to kind of score goals, and ultimately that's what we're here to do. So I know I like crosses. I've scored a couple of goals now at home from the crosses, so it's maybe something one of our strengths. But at the same time, like, we can start creating other opportunities where we can score goals from other situations, whether that's breaking teams down, set pieces. We probably need to start scoring again more from set pieces, where everyone else can chip in. But I think, ultimately, my goals come from crosses, and that's what I've relied on myself to score from them at the moment. But I think as a player, I want to be scoring from different situations. So maybe we have to work on that as a team. But it's definitely something that's coming, and I'm positive about it at the moment.
Yes, and we just talked to Gary a little bit about the confidence issues, maybe, with the early season struggles, only having one win thus far in the season. Can you touch on that at all, and what can you do to improve some confidence, or do you feel like you have enough confidence that you can find a win here soon?
I think at home everyone's confident. I think everyone went in today expected to lose. Everyone expected to win today, and definitely at home I think everyone feels that we are going to win. I don't know, obviously we didn't today, but as fans and as players, I think everyone expects us to win at home. It doesn't matter who we're against. I can't remember last time we lost at home, but at the same time, it's like we need to dust ourselves down. And I wouldn't say we're lacking on confidence, but I'd say there's fine margins that are defining our games at the moment. And against good teams like Columbus and Philadelphia, if we're going to concede from set pieces, it doesn't put us in good stead. So. Yes, like I said, they're a good team, so we need to kind of sharpen up on them bits. And maybe if we did, it would be going the other way. So it's one of them things. We need to just keep working at that and see where we're at in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
Nice one.